Major confusion around brand new bike lanes. Both drivers and cyclists are concerned that there's a lack of signs in this area that could lead to accidents.
The state representative Devin Seabaugh is accused of running into a cyclist near Memorial Drive and Boulevard in southeast Atlanta.
Atlanta News First, Yasmina Alston is near that area tonight. Yasmina, explain what is going on.
The confusion starts at the intersection behind me of Memorial Drive and Boulevard, where some drivers are making that right turn onto Boulevard and ending up in the bike lanes. You've probably noticed the curb stops creating another lane on Memorial Drive. That lane is meant for cyclists, though that message hasn't quite gotten across to everyone. Cyclist Ian Wells rides his bike on this road often. He says he is thankful for the addition of the designated bike lanes, but thinks signs alerting drivers as they turn from Boulevard would be helpful.
Signs on Memorial and Boulevard, you're coming up to a bike corridor like they do. The Beltline has a lot of signage on it.
Concerned drivers and residents have shared pictures showing cars driving in the bike lanes after accidentally making that turn into them. This picture shows several cars in the wrong lane, face to face with a cyclist also in the lane.
So the bike lane is still under construction, and it is for people biking and scooting, any kind of small wheels, not for cars, not for trucks.
Rebecca Cerna is the executive director for Propel ATL, a group that advocated for the lanes because it is a high crash corridor. She says she understands the frustrations, but reminds people the project is still not done.
Because it's still under construction, it doesn't have the posts at the ends that will prevent drivers from driving into it mistakenly, and it doesn't yet have the green paint and the bike lane symbols that will clearly tell everyone what the space is meant for.
This is the same area where Georgia State Representative Devin Seabaugh turned into the bike lane and is accused of hitting a cyclist on Thursday night. Police say he was driving under the influence at the time. In a social media post over the weekend, the representative pointed out there was no proper signage for the bike lane.
We'd like to see the construction time be compressed as much as possible because there is the potential for confusion.
And the Georgia Department of Transportation said they urge cyclists to avoid using those lanes until the project is complete. They're also reminding drivers to pay attention. They expect this project to be completed by the end of October. In southeast Atlanta, Yasmina Alston, Atlanta News First.